Nate Sheppard, running back, Duke University.
They will run it. It's Sheppard! Touchdown!
I'd say from a pretty young age, I knew what I wanted to do. Growing up, my dad was a football player. My mom played volleyball at LA Tech, so, I always had that athletic background. Hear stories from my mom and dad about what they would do. That really instilled toughness and just always believing in myself when I played sports. I'd say my earliest memories of the game is probably when I was about 4 years old, playing flag football, playing in front of the yard with my brother and his friends. And
just the one word that comes to mind, like to describe Nate, is just competitive. Ever since we were little, I know there'd be times where we would go in the backyard and just play one-on-one football for hours, and I'll purposely try to make him mad. I'll try flipping him and stuff like that, so we were always just competitive with each other.
And I think that molded me into who I am today on the field, with the toughness and relentlessness that I play with.
Sheppard's back to the left, still on his feet, going through everybody.
Right away, we knew we had a very serious type of kid that was very focused and goal-driven in what he wanted.
One of those guys that's about his business. Elite competitor, hates to lose, and wants to get after guys and compete as many times and as much as possible.
My mentality on the field is to just try to relax. Sometimes I can get uptight and get real frustrated if something's not going my way, but I just always have to tell myself just relax, be calm. It's gonna come. You don't have to force something.
Yeah, he does have that silent leader. Watch me do this stuff. Now, I believe when he gets on the field, he's a ferocious leader.
Just lead by example, lead by action. So in the weight room, I'll just make sure I'm getting all my stuff done. Trying not to get on too many people. Because that's just not who I am as a person and how I act. I do like to talk, but when it comes to stuff like that, I'm not the biggest vocal leader. I just try to lead by action. I chose Duke just because I believed in what Manny Diaz would preach every time I talked to him, and everybody around him has the same mindset along with the players and the staff and everybody.
Obviously going through the recruiting process with his brother, kind of been everywhere to kind of see things, and he was looking for certain types of people and type of place, and you could feel that from him and his family.
Coach Feely, obviously he's a great strength coach, that was a big point. And then obviously, Duke academics, you can't really beat that.
Then when he got on campus with us here, Nate showed up as a guy that knew he was a dude, and he was ready to show everybody.
Yeah, when I first got to campus, everything I was just focused on getting as healthy as possible because I knew spring ball was coming up. I felt like I had a good chance to prove myself and earning a role on this team, whether that be third string, fourth string, just special teams, Definitely pushed myself and knew that I had the ability to play at this level, especially going through spring ball and seeing what I could do.
We knew we had something special. He was a guy that continually showed out.
The first thing I noticed about Nate was his work ethic, seeing him in the weight room and getting a chance to be around him and see how he goes to work and how he's encouraging his teammates and pushing himself and his teammates was elite, and you can see why he's the player that he is right now.
Yeah, I'd say I'm an all-around back who's got a sudden burst of speed that some people can't really match, and also who's elite in the pass blocking game, which most people wouldn't expect just because of my size.
Probably the biggest key that he had as a true freshman. Everybody sees the big touchdown runs in the ACC championship game, but I don't think people see and understand that he actually is a protection back too. That's where his most value comes from, that he can protect the quarterback on pressures, and we've actually scored many touchdowns this last season that he was able to pick up protections that really a rookie or a freshman running back you wouldn't expect. That goes back to his detail of who he is.
Actually having to go make the block, those linebackers, they can be a lot bigger than you sometimes, and for you to have to just put your helmet in there and make that block, I think that's something I'm the most proud of.
I don't think he's typecast to be a certain this. You can handle the ball in every situation. Against Arizona State, we handled the football on a goal line situation.
They'll give it to Sheppard.
Ran right through the defender.
Moves the pile into the end zone. Touchdown.
The toughest adjustments, I'd say, the football side, or just adjusting to the speed of the game. Everything's coming at you a lot faster than it was. Linebackers are shifting, holes are closing faster, play calls are coming in a lot faster. You have to be able to read the defense a lot faster than you did in high school or any other time when I've been playing the game. So that's definitely something that was the biggest adjustment to this level. Syracuse game, first rushing touchdown.
We ran a counter in tempo, and he makes one cut.
Watch Jerry come around the corner, seal up his guy. Realize there's a lot of open space. Hit the hole and kept running. So
takes it to the house, and you're like, holy cow, we've got a guy that's a home run hitter. And then you go fast forward in that game, we hit a tempo run down on the goal line, and we hand off a outside zone, and he runs over the safety to run into the end zone.
Yeah, obviously it was a great feeling, first rushing score in college football, and it to be a pretty long one, that was definitely a big thing for me. Energy was real high and everything, and definitely built my confidence up that time.
The expectations I have for Nate are to continue to be him. you know, and continue to grow his leadership skills and be a leader in the room and on the offense and on the team.
Really his development in the sewer with Dave Feely, and see the weight and the strength that he has put on to make himself an even better running back.
I expect him to be better than he was. I mean, he expects that too.
You know, my goals for this offseason is stuff I've been saying since high school. You know, just get bigger, stronger, faster. That's always what you're going to need to exceed and be better than you were last year.
He is a high-level person, and so no matter what Nate decides to do in his life, he will be very successful.
The biggest things I could take away, you know, after football is just what I've learned from football, you know, teamwork, leadership, commitment.
I had to tell something to my younger self, you know, just keep your head down, keep working. Everything is going to work out, you know, don't worry about what people say online, what those stars look like, anything like that. Everything's going to work out how it's supposed to.
The sky's the limit for Nate, and he has that skill set and has that ability to be an NFL player for sure.
He's everything you want in a player.
He's got all the tools to be a high-round draft pick.
My end goal is obviously to put my head down and make it to the league and become one of the best backs ever.
You know, I always believed in my ability to get there and to do that.
To play the Duke Blue Devils, you don't have to stop Nate Sheppard.